I put new module. I run this module. It put number 1 over that. Good? So I put 1 plus 2 multiplied by 3. Run it again. It worked. It changed to 9. But if I use bracket, I run it again. Oh, it worked too. I should give you the point. Okay, you will get your full point. My bad. It doesn't work. When you actually write it, try to not use the bracket, okay? It's confusing for the reader. But it works, you get full point. Okay, today we are going to do... Okay, next quiz. Are you ready for the next quiz?
Today?
No, not today. Tell me, okay, are you ready for the next quiz?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Next time we probably have the next quiz. We may not have, but we probably have. Okay, that's quiz 2. Quiz 2 is about what? You remember? Matrix multiplication. Let's talk more about it, okay, so that you can do it for sure. So today we try to finish the VBA thing and move over to the Python basic programming. In Python, it's just like very basic thing, how to create several type of data. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
First, let's take a look at matrix multiplication. Okay, in matrix multiplication, I have matrix A. Look like this. That's a matrix A. Okay, and I have matrix B over there. C equal to A multiplied by B. What we do is we use first row multiplied by first column, elements by elements, right? And that will be C11. So C11 means summation of A1K and BKJ for K equal to 1 to M. So if I want to get C11, okay, if I want to get C11, I equal to 1 and J equal to 1. So I set I equal to 1, so I will take A1K. 1K means every member on the first row. Okay. BKJ means BK1 is every K, every row, but column has to be 1. Okay. So when I do that summation, I get just C11. Okay. And I want, how many C do I have? A is N row, M column. Okay. B is M row, P column. So this second dimension of A and the first dimension of B must match in order for it to work. Okay. Then C will have the dimension of N by P. Okay. C will have the dimension of N by P. So this means if I want to get every C, this formula has to be in the nested for loop. For I equal to 1, 2, what, Daniel?
3.
From I equal to 1 to N. Okay, and J equal to 1 to P. And inside this nested for loop is put this formula in. So this formula is another for loop, right? Sum equal to 0, and then for loop for sum equal to sum plus A ik multiplied by B k j. Okay, so if we don't put this formula inside the for loop, we just get one C, one value of C. But we have N by P number of C. Okay, so we have to put in the for loop. And in the for loop, typically we do row index first and column index later. So when we put them together, Okay, that's just transpose. Okay, multiplication. That's why you have this line, you see? K equal to 1 to 2. So the starting index and the end index of K will be equal to second index of A or the first index of B. You remember? The repeated one. So when we have A equal to N by M and B is M by P. So K equal to from 1 to M, the number of repeated index. I put that formula. That formula is just this part. Okay, this part is that formula. C equal to A I K B J K. But I want to get every C, so I put it inside nested for loop. Okay, that will allow me to get every C. And I is the index for row, so number of rows is 5, number of columns is 3. This one, I didn't read I made the dimension of the matrix to be known. So this program can do just multiplication of 5 by 3 matrix. Okay. Oh, mat 1 has to be 5 by 2, and matrix number 2 has to be where is it? 2 by 5, I think. Oh no, 2 by 3 or something. So the size is specified. If we don't make the input like that, it doesn't work. However, you can take the input of any size by use the trick that we talked about already when we do transpose. When we do transpose, we take the input as variant, right? Previously, when we do transpose, this program take the input as variant. And if you don't want to know the number of rows, you do that the name input name dot row dot count. If you want to know the number of columns, you do dot column dot count. Okay. So this means your matrix multiplication program should work for any size of input. Okay. All right. Now you can do it. Are you ready for the next quiz? Yes. So for the next quiz, if you write VBA program, it's a couple more lines. Okay. So you have to be able to input the value. You remember the next quiz? I give you a certain number, right? The matrix have a certain member that you have to put in. So like, for example, first row is maybe, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How do you put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into that? Or you may say, you write that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 or something on the workbook first. And then you read from the workbook to the program. But you have to tell me briefly on how do you write it from what cell to what cell. Okay? Good? So matrix multiplication. So if I want 5 by 2 multiplied by 2 by 3, so I write 5 by 2 in the location that is pre-specified already in the program. So this way, if I put the number in other location, it doesn't work. Okay. But if you use the previous trick that we had the input as a variant, and you use dot column, dot count, dot row, dot count, then it can be anywhere. Okay. Then you can write value for anywhere. Okay. So okay. Next part, automatic function. You can use function that is already available in VBA or in front interface Excel, in the Excel workbook inside VBA. For example, we already have mount. Okay, we already have mount Excel function, right? We can call that mount Excel function inside the VBA. Okay, so you do worksheet function dot amount mat1 column mat2, and mat1 and mat2 has to have it has to be double and double. It has to be array. So we can call function that is already available in Excel through worksheet function dot amount. You don't use this next quiz. Okay. It's going to be too easy. So next quiz, it is clear now that you don't use it. If you use this, let's give you 0. Okay, don't use this. So look at this program. This program, I don't take the input as a variant. So the input is written on some location of the file or of the workbook, right? And I read it. Use nested for loop to read it into variable. Read it twice, so I have matrix 1, matrix 2. And then I just use worksheet function that amount, open parenthesis, mat1, close parenthesis, comma, mat2, let it work. Okay? Just that. And then the rest is, okay. How do I know what is the size of my output? So if I have n by m and m by p, output will be n by p, right? So this time, I know the size of my input, I know the size of my output, but I want to show you some other trick. Some other trick is U-bow. So U-bow answer mat, comma 1. Okay, that return the upper bound of this array, that is first dimension, second dimension. Okay, you go back home and you try it. You bound. Okay, answer mat I define. So answer mat is the output from automatic function of Excel, right? Worksheet function dot amount. That is the answer mat. So number of row is on the first dimension of answer mat. So I have U bound of answer mat 1 minus L bound answer mat 1 plus 1. Why do I have plus 1? Because I tried without plus 1 and the value is not correct. Okay, so because of that, then I add plus 1. So some programs say, okay, if I define something from 1 to 5, the upper bound may be 5, the lower bound may be 1. So 5 minus 1 is 4. So I don't get the number, right? So I add plus 1 and then it becomes 5, for example. Okay, so that's upper bound and lower bound. And then I have nested for loop to print the value.
Can you repeat this, upper bound and lower bound?
Upper bound and lower bound give the
range.
You see when we say 1 to 5 and 1 to 4. So the first one, that is the first dimension of this array. The second one, that is the second dimension. If we use U bound mat 1, comma 1, you get number 5. If you use U bound mat 1 or L bound mat 1 column or comma 1, you get number 1. So U bound or L bound is to get the index that used for the size of the array. Clear enough? It will be more clearer if you go back home and you try, so that you'll be ready for the quiz on Wednesday. If we have, we may not have. Okay? Very likely we will have quiz. Okay, that is how we get the size of the output matrix from the automatic function. So this means you can create a function that don't need to know how many rows is the input, or where's the input, where's the output of matrix 1, output of matrix 2. You use a trick that have the input as a variant, right? And you have dot column, dot count, dot row, dot count. Okay? So you can mix these two together. I show one example in OpenOffice because I know that none of you have. So you cannot just copy this code, and I ask you to write similar code, but you will have to work a little bit more because most of you have VBA. If you have OpenOffice, okay, you can just copy this code, but you may have some error because it's a little bit more difficult when you put it on Windows. So take a look at this one. This is matrix multiplication. When I run it, I put a remark over there that when I run it like a mouse function. Put array 1, comma, array 2. Okay? And I input it as a variant. Input mat2 as a variant. And answer matrix I define as 1 to u bound of mat1. That is first dimension. And second dimension is, so the first dimension equal to number of row of matrix 1. And second dimension equal to number of column of matrix 2. Okay? Then I start with 1, so I don't have to do L bound minus U bound minus L bound. Then it works. So this nested for loop, by now you know that is the formula for Cij equal to summation of Aik Bkj. Remember that? And I put my mount OBB equal to answer mat. So that name match with this. Then, so this was used without, look, it was used without VBA support. So everything here just work without VBA support 1. Okay, that's it, done. So when I do the calculation, look at the formula. It have curly braces over there. So it run like matrix multiplication that you would run when you use actual Excel formula. Expected homework. Disregard this one because you know what homework look like already. Okay, homework is posted. The actual one, not just the early access. So the trick that you should use is you know how to use active cheat. Okay, you know how to use you know how to pass array as a variant to and from the workbook. And that's work the same way that you pass between two subroutine or two functions in VBA. Okay, so work, and you know how to use worksheet function.mount. So that is just one line. I call it automatic function. So next time, don't use it. If you use it, you get 0. Okay, good, clear enough. Application with VBA, OpenOffice Basic. You use this, it can help you to debug or develop the programs that you have in Python or C++. Okay, it doesn't replace, but it helps you to develop something faster. Help to directly show complicated algorithms step by step via worksheet and user-defined function, especially if you just start. If you just start, you don't see like how does the number look like when you debug it. It have a table, it's may not clear. So this way you can put it in Excel workbook. So we're just learning about worksheet, so we can show the working principles step-by-step fashion for everything. Newton method, Gaussian elimination, RK4, RK45. All this that you see, all numerical method, it's just have, it's nothing like weird. It's have for loop, if statement, those two, and done. If you know for loop and array, so if you know for loop, if statement, array, you can write all numerical method. Hopefully, okay? So next thing that you will learn is how to do it quick. Okay? This program that I use to make this Excel VBA example question. And you know my question for the next Wednesday, right? Joe? You just raise your eye, I think. Not sleep, right? No question? Okay. When you who haven't installed Anaconda yet? Everyone install Anaconda. Did you install every library that we need? Did I show you that?
I've not installed the libraries.
Library is also important. Library. There's a file for library check. The notebook. Okay. Library check. There's several libraries that I wanted to install. So we have sklearn. Install that. SciPy, NumPy, Panda, Matplotlib, Seaborn. We don't use much, but we may use more later. GraphViz, not much with that. SymPy, we use it quite a bit. Okay, if you run my code, don't worry about that thing. You don't need to understand for now. When you run my code, it should look like that. Okay, or the number should be more. So these tell me version of scikit-learn, version of SciPy, NumPy, Panda, Matplotlib, and it also show me the version of Python. Don't use Python 2, we have Python 3 already, use Python 3. And if you already have, you should try this code to load external memory profiler. This is to check like how many megabyte that we use for RAM or something. So the way to install it, I put it here. To install it for Windows and Ubuntu, Linux is the same. First, you have to open Anaconda command prompt. And if you are not, you should be admin, you right click and run as administrator, okay? Run as admin. Then when you are there, you type this one line by line. Conda install NumPy, Conda install Pandas, Conda install SciPy, scikit-learn, Matplotlib, Seaborn, SymPy, pip install GraphViz, Conda install memory profiler. Once you do all that, you will have all the library that we need. And to print, if you use Linux, you use Windows, you may not have this problem. But if you have this kind of problem, when you print, you just be able to print it in black and white. You cannot print it in color. That's not good, right? If you have this problem, like when you try to print your notebook, let me show you. We have this notebook. And when I try to print, I click print over here, and it just becomes black and white. You see the in is not in color. So we can fix that. To fix that, but you don't need to, but if you want to fix it, instead of print black and white, some computer has the option to select to print in color. If you don't have the option to select to print in color, you will have to do a little bit more trick. So you will find style.min.css in Anaconda library, in Anaconda directory. Open that file, and you find this line. Okay, color colon hash 000 exclamation point important semicolon. Delete all this. Just that, don't delete something else, okay? Then it should work. Then when you print, it will be color. Or if you try that, it doesn't work, you can save your notebook as HTML. Once you save it as HTML, you try to find that file in your HTML folder. There will be that file. Open that file and manually delete that. Then you can print it in color, okay? For Windows, you may have to just do it one time. Can you stop and start again?